Hello. I think I may be a bit early. I'm not sure. I think my watch isn't quite right. I think my watch is a bit fast, so I think we may be a bit early, but that doesn't matter. So welcome to Wednesday, the 22nd of July. Welcome to the class of Wednesday, the 22nd of July. When I was thinking about what to talk about in the top tips today, I thought P, and I thought proprioception. And I thought, oh, well, is there much to say about that? And then when you start Googling it, wow, yes, there is a lot to say about it. And it's something they're finding out about more and more all the time. So doing these little A to Zs is really good for me as well, because I learned quite a lot. So you may or may not have heard of proprioception. Until I did my personal training course, I had never heard of it. But proprioception is just your sense of self. Sensors in the muscles gives the brain information about where you are in space and in your environment. So I know, without looking, I know that I'm waving my arms like this. I know there's a chair behind me. If your proprioception isn't very good, it can affect your balance because you're not sure where you are. And you know what it's like, especially when you're a teenager. I don't know whether proprioception deserts you as a teenager or whether you haven't quite figured it out yet because you're a bit lanky as a teenager. I was always bumping into corners of things and always had bruised thighs because I was always bumping into things. I do that less these days. And very young toddlers, when they're learning to walk, it always amazes me because there'd be a floor strewn with detritus and toys. And if they want to get there, they just walk over them and inevitably they fall because they trip on something. And that's just because they're not used to it. I mean, if you stand on a sandy beach, you can tell just by the information that's coming through your feet that you're on sand, that it's slightly uneven. It's a marvelous thing, proprioception. But like everything else, it declines with age. Not much research has been done into proprioception, actually. But one thing that people do know is that poor proprioception can lead to falls. And I think the jury's still out really about what causes a decline in proprioception. It may be a decline in your muscles. It may be something to do with your brain. But one thing is for sure, a lack or reduction in proprioception acuity, you try saying that, I'm just going to have to read this, directly correlates with falls and reduced functional independence in older people. So it's all to do with your sort of independence and your functional fitness. It can lead to ataxia, just sort of staggering and not being able to walk very well. Now, there are some exercises that you can do, and I was looking it up about these exercises that are good for proprioception or improving it. And there's balance, and one of the ones they suggest is doing this. And I thought, oh, we do that. The other one is the strength, and one of the ones they suggested was a squat. So I thought, oh, we do that. And the other one was movement and drills. And I thought, oh, we do that as well by this one and by the shadow dancing, shadow walking and things. So I thought, oh, yes, we're well on the way. There's a couple of drills or a couple of exercises that I'm going to incorporate into the warm-up that are quite fun, hopefully. And I'll show you, as we go through, I'll show you some of the things that you can do to help your proprioception. But apparently, I don't want you to go away from this class, but Tai Chi is very good, because one thing they found is that older people, when their mind wanders, their proprioception, as their mind wanders, if they're doing something, their proprioception dips. And that's what I'm always saying to you. Not always saying, but I used to say, exercise, concentrate on what you're doing. Don't sort of exercise thinking, what are we having for tea tonight? Think, what muscles am I using? What am I doing? Where are my arms? And that's why I say to you sometimes when we're doing the calf stretch, I say, make sure that your feet are both pointing in the same direction. Because lots of times I say, point your feet in the same direction, and I'll look at somebody and one foot will be pointing forward and the other foot will be out there like that. You need to look at it sometimes. Same with the elbow one. Sometimes it's in there. Two things I just want to tell you about, which I think are amazing. And I'd forgotten about this. I did know about this, but I'd forgotten about it because it's 9 years since I did the course. You've got this thing in your muscles called the Golgi, Golgi, tendon organ. And it's an amazing thing. And it's the way that your muscles know, brain, presumably, because it's doing your muscles, know, have a rough idea of how heavy something is. And so that your brain knows how much muscle force to apply. And an example is, have you ever gone up to a suitcase and thought it's really heavy and gone whoop? Or the opposite, gone up to something that you think is really light and gone, oh, and that's because you're engaging too many muscles or not enough muscles. And the other thing I want to tell you about is muscle spindles. And those come into effect. They stop muscles stretching too much. And you know, if you're sleeping in a chair, I do this all the time. I sometimes think I'm watching television until I wake up. And your head's going like that, and it jerks back like that. Ooh, that hurt. Jerks back. That's because your muscle is stretching too much, and the muscle spindle pulls it back. There you go. Every day's a school day with Rosemary. So that's proprioception. So it's really tied up with balance and knowing where you are. So sometimes people don't seem to realize that there's other people around them. They wander into them and things. That's because they've got poor proprioception. So we'll start on the main body of the exercise now. I think I probably need to tilt the screen a little bit more. So what we're going to do is, oh, it's too much, tilted it too much. I'm practically in the garden talking to you with that one. Hopefully the dog is quiet. It's been very good today, actually, very obedient for some reason. I don't know how long it's going to last. So if you haven't done this class before, welcome. Let me just see what people are saying. Hi, Rosemary, I'm back. No, don't worry about that, Delia. Interesting topic. Good morning, all. Yeah, you see, you can Google all this stuff. Anyway, for those, if any of you haven't been on this class, sorry, backtrack. This is the penultimate 11 o'clock Wednesday class. Remember, the 11 o'clock classes are finishing next Wednesday. That's the 29th. And they're restarting on the 5th of August. And that's when you'll be able to give a donation to me, buy me a coffee, if you feel the class has been worth it. If you're skint or if you think it's rubbish, you don't need to. There's no obligation. I don't know who's watching these, and I don't see, so I don't know who's paying or who isn't paying or anything. So I don't know. So there's no obligation to buy me a coffee. But if you feel the urge because the class was so good, then gratefully received. Right, so if you're new, the class is in 3 bits. There's a warm-up, the main body of the exercise, and the stretching at the end. I feel I've got to give you your money's worth today, even although you're not paying yet, because of the disruption on Monday because of the dog. Anyway, we'll be using the chair. We'll be using a band, exercise band. If you don't have one, you can just do the movements. If you need to sit in the chair, do. Most of the exercises can be done from the chair. I think that's it. I'm going to stop gabbing now because I do speak too much. Right, so first of all, we're going to start walking just nice and gentle, just marching, using your shoulders as well, just to warm up your shoulders, hardly lifting your feet off the floor at all, very gentle, on your toes if you can. If you can't, absolutely fine. One of the things about this class is that you need to do it at your level, nobody else's level. And the good thing is you can't see anybody else. Right, so just a few more seconds. One of the things, when the classes go to once a week at 9 o'clock in the morning, the thing is that they'll still be on YouTube. Nothing will change at all, apart from there'll be a link to my Buy Me a Coffee page. So if you can't do it at 9 o'clock, you can always do it later and pretend it's live, because there's nothing to say it isn't. Right, okay, so cease and desist. Hand on your shoulder, like that. Engage your proprioception. Make sure that it is like that. Remember, you've got an imaginary pencil sticking out of your elbow. So we're going to do 5 imaginary circles back and 5 imaginary circles forward. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Brilliant. And this one, back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fantastic. Last arm one is going to be this one, the up and down one. So remember, don't move your back. It's only your arms that move. And as one comes up, the other one goes as far back as it can, or as is comfortable. And this is as far back as is comfortable. Oh, I didn't do that one, did I? I'm not going to do it today. I don't really like that one. We're going to do this one. So we're going to do 10. 1, nice and controlled. Don't let gravity. 2, pull your arm down. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Fab. Excuse me. I'm going to tilt the screen down a little bit, because I want you to watch my feet. What we're going to do now is we're going to do a little bit of proprioception practice. It's good for your balance. It's good for everything. Be quite a nice warm-up. Footballers do this. And it's going to be difficult to do this in a small sitting room, because I'll probably exeunt stage left or stage right. But I'll show you what it's like this. It's this one. Okay? Now, we're going to do it slowly. So, I'm going to turn my back, actually, because it might be easier that way. And you can follow what I'm doing. So your right foot goes over your left. It's the Greek step, you know, when Zorba the Greek's doing doom, 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 doom. So it's that one, but when you do it quickly. So you put your right, I don't know if I'm doing it exactly the Greek way. Right foot over your left, and then your left comes to stand beside your right. And then you put your right foot behind, and then bring it there. And then it goes over again, together. Am I out of shot? No. So, and then coming back, you put your left over your right, bring it there, behind, there, over, there, behind. How's that? So we'll do it again. I'm just trying to get rid of this chair so it's out of the picture. That's better. So we can do a few more. Right, ready? So, right, what shall I say? Right over left, but right, it's not together. It's, I don't know. Try again, Rosemary. Right over, left comes there, behind, there, over, there, behind, there. Back again. Left goes over, there, left goes behind, left goes over, left goes behind. And when you're doing it, you can twist your body. It took me ages to realize how to break this down, because I can do it without thinking about it. We'll do it once more. So, right, there, whoops, sorry, behind, there, over, behind, over, left, over, behind, over, behind, over. How was that? We're going to do that a few times over the weeks so that you get used to it, so that you can, because it sort of puts you off balance, but it's very good for you, and it twists your spine a bit as well when you're doing it quickly, and you're doing it on your toes. One more proprioception one. I'm going to move the screen again. We can do this because it's all good warming up stuff. I want you to stand on one leg, put the other leg out behind. This one's on the floor, so you're not overbalancing. Okay, put your hands like this, and then you go to one side and then the other. It's quite difficult. One side and then the other. And one side and then the other. And then switch legs. Just balancing like this is quite hard. One side, you don't need to go very far, just a slight side bend. Woo! Side bend. That. And that. Right. That's your proprioception sorted. So now we're going to do our little, I'm going to put it down a little bit more. We're going to do our little routine. So we're going to start, we're just going to do heel digs. And at the same time as you're doing the heel digs, anchor your elbows into your, sorry, I'm having trouble with this screen today. Maybe I should get a proper camera. And at the same time as you're doing the heel digs, anchor your elbows. So you're going to do a bicep curl with the opposite arm. Now this is good as well because it puts you off balance. You've got to concentrate on what you're doing. So I was obviously a proprioception master without knowing it. 3, 2, 1. And that's again, this is proprioception. So if you're not doing same arm and leg, so that you can actually do opposite arm and leg. The next one we're going to do is just a step out to the side. Not a very big step. And prayer hands as you're doing it. And push them out to the side at the same time as your leg goes out. So you're getting your body used to moving in all different ways. Maybe we should add in some of the Greek dancing. 3, 2, 1. Next one, if you're in the chair, this one is difficult. You'll just have to do the arm movements. But you take just touch your leg back. Just touching it back, taking a small step back. Same time your hands are here, and you're going to push your hands out as you, when you do this, try not to let your knee come right in. Try and keep your knee forward. I'm quite bad for letting it go in. I'm watching myself there. So out. And splay your fingers. Watch your knee if you want. I mean, women's knees, we do come in at the knees a bit as well. It's because of the way our pelvis is made. I don't know if there are any men doing this. Oh. 3, sorry. Just going to stop then. 2, 1. And finally, just going to touch our toe tap. And at the same time, just swing your arm. A good swing, so as your shoulders are being mobilized. Opposite arms and legs, obviously, always. 3, 2, 1. Right, we're going to put all that together. So we're going to do heel dig, side, back, toe tap. Heel dig, side, back, toe tap. Here we go. Oh, notice that I did that. Been doing it for so long. Ah! Start again. Heel dig. It's always good if the instructor can get it right, isn't it? Back, toe tap. So I was saying before that my concentration wandered because the dog moved. Toe tap. One last time. Heel dig, side, back, toe tap. Fantastic. Right, into the main body of the exercise now. So let me move this card. And we're going to start, as always, with a squat, which, as we now know, is not only good for your glutes, your gluteus maximus, really, and your thighs, your quadriceps, but also your proprioception. So if you know what I'm talking about, if you're well versed in this, either start doing squats as I'm talking or have your hands here, pulling your arms back. This will strengthen your back. It's really, don't push your head forward. It's a really good one. And at the same time, you can just do a bit of marching on the spot. So a squat is sitting down, but without the chair. It's not doing that. So you sit down, your knees don't come in, your knees are out there. You've got an eye in the, imagine you've got an eye in the middle of your chest, and that holds, faces forward. And as you stand up, you don't have to go right down. You can go to there, as long as your knees aren't coming forward. Your bum is back. If you can't do a free squat, you're in the chair, knees at 90 degrees, ankles under your knees. Don't use your hands, and you stand up and then sit down again. When you're sitting down, when I'm sitting down, look how my bum sticks out. That's how you sit down. You can't sit down like that. It's got to be like that. If you can't do that, swing your arms and give yourself a bit of momentum to get up. And if that's too difficult, as a final resort, use your hands on your knees. But get into the habit, once you can do it without putting your hands on your knees, get into the habit of always standing up without putting your hands on your knees. Always. Always try and use your leg muscles and your bum muscle. Right, we're going to do 10. So at the top of the squat, if you're doing, not the chair one, but if you're doing the free squats, just put your hands behind your back and just push your pelvis a bit forward. We're going to do them nice and slow, okay? So weights on your heels as well. Oh, too much on my heels. 1, 2, 3. Just think how your proprioception is being improved. 4. All this strength. 5. Into your thighs and your glute max. 6. 7. Try not to look at the floor as I was doing a moment ago. 8. 9. 10. Okie dokie. Next one, we're going to use the chair and the band. If you haven't got a band, just do the exercise, the arm exercises. Sitting on the front of the chair, feet out in front of you, feet pulled back. As you know, that's called dorsiflexion. Have quite a good bit of tension on the band. If there's not much tension, it's not going to do you much good. You need to be pulling against the tension, the weight of the band. And your arms just come straight back. If you haven't got a band, still sit like this, but just do the arm movements. You'll still get benefit. But if you have got a band, get your feet on your heels are on the floor at all times. Don't ever take your heels off the floor. Just makes it impossible. Your arms just come back. Your elbows aren't out like that. You're not lifting. You're just pulling back. And your hands skim your thighs. So we're going to do 10. So pull back and try and get your shoulder blades together. And then 2. It's only your arms that move, not your torso. 3. We'll make galley slaves of you yet. 4. 5. 6. 7. Again, this is proprioception. Make sure you know what your 8 torso is doing. I think that's probably why dancers have big mirrors, because sometimes you need your eyes to tell you what your limbs are doing. 9. 10. Apparently, sometimes proprioception is called the sixth sense, but not if you watch the films I've watched. Right, we're staying in the chair. We're going to do these muscles here, the gluteus medius and minimus. So remember I talked about daddy bear, mummy bear, and little bear behind. It's to stop your knees doing this. when you do a squat. So, sitting on the edge again. I'm going to go back a bit so you can see. So you put your band under your knees, flip them over like that, and hold them like that, so that you're holding your knees together. And then open your knees so that your thighs are parallel. The outside of your thigh is parallel with the outside of your hip. And that's where your knees and legs need to stay. Well, not the whole time, because we're going to open them a bit more. So this is the starting position. So we're just going to open and hold for a couple of seconds, and then back to the starting position. So that's one. Open, have it so that you're actually, it's quite a struggle to open your legs. Two. There's no dignity in exercise. Three. But think how fit you'll be and strong. Four. That's my aim, is strong women. Five. I'm going to call it strops, strong older people. Six. Rosemary's Strop Club. 7. 8. Should be starting to feel it a little bit now. 9. 10. Did you feel that there? I can feel it there. Right, we're going to do, still need the band. If you haven't got the band, just do the actions. We're going to do a bicep curl. So you need to stand on the band, anchor your elbow into your waist, and then hold it. Have quite a bit of tension so that when your hand is there, your arm is there, you're having to actually hold it. So that's the sort of start position. And then you're just going to close your arms. So we're going to go 1, 2, don't take it right down, keep the tension there. 3, nice and slow. 4. This bit where you go down, the opposite of the contraction is the eccentric phase or eccentric phase of the muscle. 5, and that's just as important. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I am aware I lost count there because I was talking, but we did one more, I think, a couple more, but won't do you any harm. Right, stand on the band on the other arm, keep the tension there, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wonderful. Right, we're going to do our one leg balance. So for this, we're going to engage core, and then don't do it yet. Bring your leg to parallel to the floor if you can, your thigh parallel to the floor if you can, and then we're going to raise it a bit more. Don't do that when you raise it. Make sure your back and everything is straight. Just going to raise it or straighten it. But that's pretty hardcore, that is. Just doing it a little bit higher and then down. Try to do it without holding on. I can't always do that without holding on. So breathe out. Pull your navel into your backbone as hard as you can. Pull up your pelvic floor and then relax your stomach muscles slightly. And breathe. It's always good to breathe. Hands on hips or holding onto the chair if you need to. And we're going to go up and then up again and then down. 1, up. When you put your foot down, up. Don't put your weight on it, just touch the floor. 3, 4, 5. I'm going to straighten my leg for the last 5. 6, 7, 8. I don't know how these ballet dancers do this. 9. Quite hard. 10. Switch over. Exhale. Pull your navel into your backbone as hard as you can. Relax slightly. Hands on hips. And up. Up. 1. Up. Up. 2. This is quite easy without a dog dancing around. Up. Up. 3. Well, easy being a relative term. Up. Up. 4. Up. Up. 5. And then I'm going to do straighten. 6. Woo. 7. Oh, hang on. 8. 9. 10. Ooh. Right, the next one we're doing is the upward row, which is this one. So if you haven't got a band, just hold your thumb. That's just to keep your hands together. And remember, it's your elbows that come up. Your hands should never be higher than your elbows. So even if you can only go to there, that's fine. There, or your chin. It's entirely up to you. Don't have your hands higher than your elbow. It's quite a tricky one to master this. If you've got a band, you stand on it, feet hip width apart, and then you cross it over. I'm going to come nearer so you can see me. And remember, when you're lifting, try and keep your forearm, your wrist, and your hand in alignment. Try not to bend your wrists like that. And we're going to do standing nice and straight. Don't rock. It's only your arms that move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wonderful. Right, we're going to do our ab exercises. So, sitting in the chair as far forward as you can, with knees at 90 degrees, ankles under your knees. I'll bring this forward a bit so you can see, because your knees don't move, it's your back that moves. So you have your hands here just so as you're not using them. We're going to start here like this, because as you come up, as your whole body pull from here, and that strengthens those back muscles. And then we're going to go touch the chair and then just come off. I'm just going to touch the chair and then come off. Okay, so we're starting like this, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, nice and slow, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, the next one we're going to do is have your hands in the same position, and you're going to come back, touch the chair, and then just come off it slightly. I'm going to raise your lower leg. Your thigh doesn't move, it's just your lower leg that moves. 2, 3. These muscles here are supporting you. 4. You just have to straighten your leg, it doesn't have to come up. 5, 6, 7, nice and slow and controlled. 8, 9, 10. And then if you can, without having a rest, go straight into the other one. If you need a rest, that's fine. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, pull your toe back. 8, 9, 10. Fantastic. Did you manage that without a rest? That's good. Next one we're going to do, we've done the biceps, the front of the arms, we're doing these ones, the triceps, the back, and that's the one where you have the band over your shoulder. Remember, this hand here is controlling the tension on the band, and this one is back over your shoulder like that, back over it at the back of your head. If you've got impaired shoulder mobility, bring your arm, start your arm here at mid-chest, and when we push up to the ceiling, you're going to push, oh, it's too tight, you're going to push down to the floor. Uses the same muscle. Okay? So, we're going to go, I'll go back a bit so as you can see, just pushing up to the ceiling. 1, 2, this keeps coming back. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I find this quite a useful one to do in the mirror, because sometimes it's difficult to tell whether your shoulder is moving or not. It's easy to sort of start doing that. And I find mirrors quite useful for squats as well, full length, because you can look and see if your knees are going over your feet. So, other one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew, that was quite. I seem to have that. My left hand arm is weaker than my right. I think that's why. Right, we're just going to do 10 more squats, either standing up in the chair, you know what I mean, standing up from the chair, not in the chair, or free standing squats. It's up to you. We're going to do 10. So 1, 2, 3, try doing them there. 4, I find that quite difficult. 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, falling backwards. 9, 10. There's nothing wrong with falling backwards. It shows that your technique is proper. As long as you don't hurt yourself. Right, side bends. Feet hip width apart. Remember, if you're putting your hand over your arm, keep it straight. No, over your head. If you're putting your arm over your head, keep it straight, so that you're actually physically using it. So we'll breathe in and then exhale. 1, 2. See if you can get your hand to your knee. 3. And you just go to the side. 4. Doesn't matter how far down you go, it is your side bend. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. And then the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, right. We're going to go into our little routine. So we'll do it 3 times slowly and then we'll speed it up a bit. So heel dig, side, back, toe tap. Heel dig, side, back, toe tap. Last time heel dig, side, last time slowly, toe tap. Right, I know some of you play music, so if you want to put your music on, I can't play music because of copyright laws, so I have to have the music in my head, so you have to follow my rhythm. Are you ready? So, heel dig, side, back, toe tap. Heel dig, have to concentrate on the arms, back, toe tap. Heel dig, side, back, woo, toe tap. Heel dig, side, back, toe tap. Heel dig, side, back, toe tap. Heel dig, side, back, toe tap. Last time. Heel dig, oh, side, back, toe tap. Right. People said last time on Monday, they said they enjoyed the HIIT, the high intensity. The omega talk, the omega, yes, that was osteo. Alpha, omega. It's not the omega talk. Well, depends what you mean by omega. Anyway, yes, some people said they enjoyed the high intensity bit at the end, the heartbeat, as we call it. So we're going to do it again. You can do it in the chair, but it's not, I think it's more tiring in the chair, actually. What it is we're going to do 3 20-second bursts of high intensity training. So we're going to do 3 20-second bursts of running like this on the spot, really running, really getting your arms going, legs going, really, really running, really, really running, okay? Or you don't have to do this all the time. You might sit on the edge of the chair and you can do it this way, but that's not, I think that's harder. But we'll do 3 20-second bouts. If you've got any worries, don't do it. This is totally voluntary. If you get any chest pain, if you have angina, anything like that, don't do it. If you're worried, ask your doctor. If you feel okay doing it, have a chair next to you, just in case you need to sit down. I'm not doing it because I can't look at the watch and do it. And it needs to be timed exactly. I don't want to, even 2 seconds over if you're really exerting yourself, feels like an hour. So, are you ready? So on your marks, set, go, 20 seconds. Really, really, come on, get those legs going. You don't have to bring your knees up high. Tiny little steps like you do in the warm-up, tiny little steps, but use your arms. Use your arms to get your hand, to get your feet going. Really keep going. 17, 18, 19, 20. Stop. How was that? Somebody, people did enjoy it. Makes you feel as if you've done something at the end. Just take a few more seconds to regulate your breathing. If you're doing proper high intensity interval training, you have longer recovery periods. But because ours is only 20 seconds and because I'm cruel, I give you less recovery time. Okay, you'll find as you get faster, as you get better at this, you will need less recovery time. One of the definitions of being fit is not how puffed you get, but how quickly you regain your breath. So if you've noticed yourself getting less, it may still be, the effort will still feel the same, because as you get fitter, you'll put more effort into it, so it'll still be just as hard. But you'll find your recovery time is getting quicker, and that's a sign that you're getting fitter. Okay, second bout, on your marks, set, go. Remember, just tiny steps. Small, small little steps. "17, 18, 19, 20. Stop. Well, I'm sure you did stop at 20. I'm sure you don't need any encouragement to stop. How's it going? Well, not that I can see you, but not that you can see each other either. We'll just give you a little bit of breathing space. You might find that 2 is enough for you. That's absolutely fine. Or if you want to do the third one in the chair, or the second and third one, then that's fine as well. Don't feel obliged to do every single one. But I'm very conscious of the fact that some of you may be a bit worried about hearts or breathing or things, in which case, absolutely fine to not do it. You know your bodies better than I do, so you know whether it's okay for you to do it or not. Okay, third one, give it a bit of welly this time. Remember, I can see each and every one of you, despite what I said before. Right, on your marks, set, go. "17, 18, 19, 20. Well done. Jolly well done. If you managed all 3 and you managed to give it lots of welly for the whole minute that was each 20-second bout, give yourselves a clap, or give yourself a clap. Right. I'm going to go into the stretches now. So get your chair. You can hold on to the chair, thankfully. Front leg bent, back leg straight. Just check that your feet are both pointing in the same direction. Check that your proprioception is good. Your heel of your back foot, well, both heels are on the ground, and you lean forward. The more you lean forward, the greater the stretch in the calf. You feel the stretch at the top of your calf. Make sure if you straighten, make sure your leg is very straight. That increases the stretch a bit as well. When you're doing stretching, never bounce. Some people, I'll show you what I mean in a minute. Bend your knee, your back knee slightly now. Your heel will come off the ground, but you should feel the stretch going into your calf and your Achilles tendon down at the bottom of your calf. And then swap legs. Just check your feet are pointing the same direction. Straighten your leg, lean forward. Make sure your heel's on the ground. And then gently bend your back knee. Feel the stretch going down into your Achilles. Good. Now, we're going to do the quadriceps, the big muscles on the thigh. If you can, grab your foot or your toes or your heel or your calf, your sort of shin, trouser leg, anything, and stand up nice and straight with your knees together. You should get the stretch there. If you can't do that, do dynamic stretching. So you're just using lifting your feet like this. If you can, put your hands behind you, see if you can kick your hands. Doesn't matter if you can't, you're still lengthening these. I'm going to do the static stretch. So we'll just do this for a few seconds. I'm going to try and do it without holding on, because it's always worthwhile trying to improve your balance. Gym lad. A little bit of free acting there for you. And then if you're doing that one, switch legs. If you're doing the dynamic stretching, keep doing it. And we'll do this one. I'm not quite as good at getting this leg as I am the other one. Okay, right. We're going to do the hamstrings, these muscles, big muscles at the back of your leg. So sitting here, sitting on the chair, towards the front, right at the front, in fact. Knees at 90 degrees, ankles under your knees. One foot out, toe pulled back. Now, what I mean by not bouncing, some people do this. They try and get down like that. Don't do that. You just hold it statically, because you can risk pulling a muscle that way. So you're sitting up nice and straight, toe pulled back, and you're going forward from the hips, not from the waist. And remember, this is your stretch. Some people will be able to hold their ankles, some people will be able to get right over their toes, some people will be able to only get to their knee, and it doesn't matter. I didn't mean only. I just said get to them. I meant get to your knee. And then sitting up, switch legs, sit up nice and straight, forward from the hips, not the waist. And then sitting up, standing up, in fact, hands out to the side, palms facing forwards, round the tree. Remember, arms like that, not like that, at shoulder height, and then dip your head. Try and get those shoulder blades separate. Pull your shoulders out. It's a very, very fat tree. And then Hands interlinked behind your back if you can. If not, just try and get your elbows together. If you can interlink your fingers, just pull your hands up like that, your arms back, so that you get this stretch across your chest. Okay. And then palm like that, back over you. If you've got shoulder mobility, just don't do this one. This is to stretch this muscle because we used it. And then just push your arm back. And then bring it forward and repeat on the other side. It's brightening up here now. It was a bit rainy this morning. And then there we go. Last few. Sitting in the chair. Sit anywhere you like, but don't use the back to rest on. Use your own muscles to support you. Tip your head. Put your hand on your crown, but don't push. Just let the added weight of your hand push your head down a bit. And then look up. Turn your head to the left as far as you can, not moving your shoulders, just your head. Note where your chin is in relation to your shoulder. Put your hand on your chin. Try and turn your head back to the center, but resist with your hand. And create tension in your neck. And then relax totally and keep your head turned. You should be able to turn your head just a little bit more to the left. Just keep it there for a couple of seconds. And then bring your head back to the center. And then turn your head to the other side. Same thing, hand on your chin. Try and turn your head back to the center. Resist. Create that tension. And then bring your head back to the center. That is that. I will see you on Monday. Any queries, anything like that, just get in touch with me. I know some of you do. And I'll see you on Monday. Bye.